Had a good week of preparation. I'm excited to get to Sunday and see our guys play. I thought our focus, concentration this week was good, and hopefully we can carry it over on Sunday. Any questions?
Do you know any more about David Njoku? Can he help you out Sunday?
Yeah, I think we want to see David another week and see what we get at the end of next week. He will not.
I'd like to ask you the same question I asked you yesterday, only because things have changed since we talked to you last. Did Myles tell you that Mason Rudolph used a racial slur? And I ask you that because Myles came out last night and said he knows what he heard. And there's a lot of people out there that are wondering, why did he wait so long for this revelation to come out?
You'd have to ask Myles that, but if it were me, I would not want that to be seen as an excuse for anything that Myles did, and I'm pretty sure Myles feels the same way, and that would be the only reason.
People are saying, well, you know what, it's not that believable because he didn't say it until Wednesday in his appeal hearing. So we're wondering, I know you usually don't comment on what you said with players, but because Myles made it public yesterday, I was wondering if you would reconsider the question as to whether you heard that from Myles on Friday morning.
I will not reconsider anything I talked about with Myles Garrett, but I will say this about Myles' character. If he tells me something, I'm going to believe it.
Tell you that?
I'm not revealing anything that Myles and I talked about.
Freddie, how upsetting is it that people outside this building are questioning Myles' character? I know the incident was bad, the actual helmet thing, but just overall in his character.
You know, I'll make one more comment on this. Myles Garrett admitted what he did wrong, took full responsibility in everything that he has done since Thursday and handled everything properly. So with that being said, again, we're moving on to Miami. We've got a game this week. We've got a game in 2 days that we're playing against Miami. That's the only thing that concerns us in this football team.
Earlier this week, you're gonna be missing 3 of your 4 defensive linemen this week. You said earlier this week you expect everyone to step up and play well. Just can you touch on maybe what kind of week those guys have had, filling in Chad, Chris, and Devereaux, and what you hope to get from them now?
I think those guys have worked all week and playing together, doing their job, which enables the defense to perform at a high level. If we get that on Sunday, it'll be to our benefit. I think those guys, we've got total confidence those guys are going to step in and play well. We don't need them just to be out there. We need them to play well, and I feel full confidence that they'll do that.
Versatile guys in that group. Is a guy like Sheldon able to slide outside? Can Chad move inside? Things like that?
I think one of the advantages to that group of guys is they are versatile, and we'll see what happens. But those guys can play several different spots, yes.
You mentioned, I think at the beginning, that you'd like to focus during the week. How much have you paid attention to it, given all the other stuff, and kind of what have you looked at to see that, yeah, it's where you want it to be?
Well, I think our mental errors during the course of the week have been down, and that's one indication that they're focused and concentrating on what their job is. Again, we like to use the focus in times like this as being hyper-focus, which means it's an intense ability to focus. All right, good. Did you write that down the other day? Did you? Did you look it up? Did you look it up and check me on it?
He's still young.
What was
He
the
doesn't have
definition
to,
of it?
Intent was not in the definition of it, but it was the crux of it.
Well, where'd you get your information from?
It's refdesk.com.
What?
You go to Webster's Dictionary.
Webster's Dictionary. And it does not say intense focus.
You need to borrow one of your encyclopedias.
Yeah.
No kidding. He's being very abstemious. Do you know how to spell that?
I know the vowels go in order.
All right, spell it.
What's the word?
Abstemious.
Abstemious. A-B.
Use it in a sentence.
S-T-E-M-I-O-U-S.
There you go. Good job.
North.
Good job.
Anyway, so you're hyper-focused.
I am. And I can tell you have been too.
Freddie, this happened
with the Steelers, more than a week ago. It's going to continue to be, a topic considering you play the next week. How in the world do you keep your team focused, and what is this going to do to your locker room, good or bad, and what are the things you have to watch out for because it's such a distracting possibility?
I think what you try to do from an early standpoint is you try to form a culture where they care about each other as people, okay? And then when you do that and something happens, it kind of galvanizes you from the standpoint of you realize at that point you're in it together and you're all that each other have. And that's where we come up with the term you run toward each other in times of adversity rather than run away from them. So I think the quicker that we realize that we're in it together and that's it, the city of Cleveland's in this together and that's it, all right? And we have to work extra hard to have determination and focus on what we have to do in that very moment and stay in the moment. Then it will be that all of our benefit. I think that's what we've done. I think we've continued that over the past month, and I don't see anything other than that moving forward.
Does this create or do you already have an us against the world mentality?
I think it needs to be us being focused on what we do every day, every rep, every practice. The same thing we've been preaching since March. It only matters what you're doing in the moment. You can't do anything about last week, and you can't do anything about next week. You can only do something about today, and that's where we want to keep our focus.
First time Jarvis gets to play against Miami since the trade, and obviously there was a lot of stuff that had been said post that trade, about the circumstances from Miami's point of view. Just can you touch on what Jarvis has meant to this organization since coming here, and just the positive energy he's brought, and just trying to get this thing turned around because he came when it was at rock bottom?
I think when you talk about Jarvis Landry, the first word needs to come out of your mouth is a competitor. He competes every time he touches the football field. He's competing. He's all about competition. I think the more guys you have like that in your program, the better off you are. Hopefully that answers your question.
Freddie, I don't think the NFL had made the announcement on what was going to happen with Myles after the appeal since we spoke with you. Give any reaction to them keeping the indefinite suspension in place?
Yeah, I don't have any reaction to it. It's not my job to do that, so. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but that's all I got for you. We're going to continue to support Myles and unwavering support of Myles. That's all I got to say about it.
I think I asked you this before, and you weren't sure of the answer. Even though he's not allowed in the building, are you allowed to
We are not. We're not allowed to communicate with him. Is that what you wanted, Jeff? Yep. We're not allowed to communicate with him.
Another team here, just on Carlson's catch, did that prove you something going forward? It sounds like you're probably going to need him this week.
We've got a lot of confidence in Stephen that he can do the job. He can go in and do the job. He showed us that early, that he's very precise and detailed in his preparation. And actually, when he gets to the field, you're going to get exactly what you tell him to do. You're going to get, and that's always a good thing.